Oh, I wanted to show you guys my face, and the tooth is going back to normal. So they said this can't be happening. Every time I go back to normal, it shows that I'm defeating their laser weapon. They say it's a maser, microwave laser. So I'm defeating it according to them. No, I'm not. I'm still suffering the effects of it. So I'm going to show you when I stand up and my spine isn't even. This is what happens. That's why I always sit down, because I don't want to come on camera like that. So, I'm going through this. At the same time, they're lying on me and banging. I don't sleep well at night. Every time I go out, they say they're going to break in. They insist that I was seeing dreams. They insist that I was making up like fake people in my life when there are too many fake real people in my life. But that's, life. So they said, oh, this shirt you're wearing is, you were trying to sell it on Zazzle, because I created this for Kapajara Productions. And I told you in a previous video that they said they were going to put $1 million value on it so that everyone could become part of Kapajara Productions. That doesn't make any sense. They said that this was going to be something from people from Fordham University. That doesn't make any sense. I'm wondering why anyone would have come up with this scam in the first place. They said, years ago when I first graduated from Fordham, someone who went to Fordham with me called me out of the blue because we had student directories. So my mom picked up the phone and she said, who is this, And I'm glad she did that. And she said, oh, I attended Fordham with, my name. And so when I spoke on the phone with the person, I said, oh, hi, how are you? She said, fine. And we had a quick conversation. And I said, could I ask why you decided to call? She said, oh, I just wanted to know how you were doing. And I said, okay, fine. Thank you. But it was strange. Imagine that happened immediately when I graduated from Fordham, probably in 1995. Could you imagine now? I graduated from 1995. In 20 whatever date they decided to come up with a scam. Decades later, the same thing would happen with these people? That doesn't make any sense. Why would anyone think it's okay? So they said, well, years ago, you contacted via email someone you were friends with at Fordham. Yeah, that's different. When you are actually friends with someone and contacting them, that's normal. But just someone you attend school with, it's not normal. And that's my point. I think that they have a problem understanding the difference between going someplace, attending something with someone, and becoming friends with someone. When you actually became friends with someone and you exchange telephone numbers and you meet up, after class and you kind of hang out, I guess that's the word. Kids nowadays call things different. Like we used to call hanging out with someone just socially, like friends, but now they say hanging out is like a form of dating. That's the whole point. When they keep trying to change relationships on me, I don't get the new terminology. I use the way we used to call it. When you hang out with someone, not as dating or anything, just friends, that's a different relationship than if you attend class with someone. I could be a classmate of yours and we don't hang out together. But when you really hang out with someone and you become friends with that person, that's a different relationship. So when they keep talking about dating and how long you dated, when I was coming up, you weren't dating someone until that person became your boyfriend. So you could go out on dates with someone, but not date that person. But an official dating is when that person says, would you be my girlfriend? And then you're like, okay, I'll be your girlfriend. That was dating, because that meant you weren't dating other people. Do you know what I'm saying? So now I think people mean dating when you just go places with someone. But then I think they also say that's called hanging out. Then they said, it's a booty call when someone calls you to hang out with you at night and you don't hang out during the day. But if you hang out during the day, you're hanging out with that person, and that's not a booty call. I don't know. I'll call this something like dating lingo or something. I'll call this video, because we didn't call it these types of things. For us, it was very simple. If you were dating somebody, it was the person asked you to be his or her girlfriend, whatever, it wasn't, oh, I'm just going out on a date with you. If you were hanging out with someone and you were hanging out not just at night as a booty call, you were kind of messing with that person. That was kind of like you were messing with each other, meaning you were in some sort of a relationship. It wasn't you weren't dating, but you wasn't just a booty call. Then if it's just a lot of different terminology over the years. So the lingo changed. Dating lingo changed in my lifetime. So again, they're obsessed with who was my boyfriend, when we became boyfriend. I was not dating the college boyfriend until he asked me to be his girlfriend. And that's my point. And that only lasted a few weeks, 2 times, and we realized, this isn't going to work. That's why when we went our separate ways, we stayed cordial. There was no problem. I even got a letter from him and his wife, listed our friend. There was never a time when that friendship became this until these people came up with all of this. So that's my point. When you're talking about dating lingo, there was never any sort of bad feelings until this. And then all of a sudden they said all these lies. And I'm like, well, where did this come from? Again, it goes back to 2016. They lied and said I was dating a female. I've never dated a female. They lied and said I romantically kissed a female. I've never kissed a female. We give each other kisses in the cheek like, that's it. I mean, come on. So all of a sudden now that makes a person a lesbian. That's my problem with these folks. They're very hypocritical. They have a way of putting down people in a way that makes it seem like, oh, we're not really putting you down. No, you're really putting people down. As though we have enough problems as it is. We don't need put downs on people's sexuality. So that's why they keep trying to say, I'm the one who, no, I wasn't. Had I been the person who was putting down people's sexuality, that would have been the first thing they said. That would have been the first attack. And, part of why it matters is because they wanted to change this into an attack on me based on lies, when I can attack them based on the truth. There's too much truth to this. So they said, I got caught up, they said, in a group of people who are homosexuals who need women to pretend they're straight. Whoa, I don't want to get caught up in that group. That's the last group I want to be caught up in, because that's hypocritical. And that's the last thing I want to be part of. A hypocritical group of people who pretend to be one thing on the outside, but when they're home, there's something completely different. Thank you for watching.